Hey everyone, and welcome back to round two of the Dead of Winter GT. That was in beautiful Albany, New York. I almost said North Carolina. Wow. All right, guys, it's Friday. I got a beer with me. It is round two. It's Salty Earth. I'm playing against some orcs that are definitely touching on to like the Rift Forge orcs, so they got their cool little lightning bolt thing there. So one thing I need to pull up real quick right now is that. That way I can make cool drawings and stuff. Also, you will notice in my first battle report since I've been back, I was using this mic that is around my head right now. The second one apparently wasn't using this mic, so it sounded a little hollow. Hopefully this one sounds a little better. Here's my list. You can check it out in other videos. Real quick, Dracon Lord, 2 mages with some spells and stuff, 2 hordes of Palace Guard. We got a regiment of Palace Guard, 2 critters, Stormwind Cav, Thunder Charge 3 with the Jesse Boots is great. Glade Stalkers, 2 regiments, and Dracon Riders with their own inspiring. I am playing against Nick, and he has a very cool orc army. And if there's one army that I thought would benefit a lot from the changes to sticky combat and whatnot, I thought orcs would be one of them. The one thing orcs still don't have an advantage of is that their units are very, very big. So that is an issue, and I was smart enough to bring up my other monitor so that I can check out over there. Um, Check out the list while I'm talking about it because I realized that in the past reports that I didn't really have a good way to refer to some things, and like I'm kind of new to some units and the way things are going. Anyway, all right. So he has Thornar, awesome warlord cav guy. He's pretty cool. Crush 2, Storm Strike, which gives him the ability to, I think on like sixes, fives, and sixes, they do double wounds, not wounds. They're double successes to their attacks. Yeah, he is a God Speaker with Bane Chant and Heal. He is a Rift Forger with Blade of Slashing. I mess up in the game at one point where I thought the Rift Forger stats were the Storm Slayer stats. It was definitely a mistake. He has some Morax. He has a 1, 2, 3 regiments of Morax. Those guys are pretty cool. They have a lot of attacks for a regiment. We have 2 Rift Forged Legionnaires. We got 2 hordes of those, but one with Sharpness hitting on 2, 25 attacks, crush 1. Yeah, they're pissed off. And then one with Blessing of the Gods giving them Elite, which is really cool. He has a unit of Tundra Wolves, and you'll see in this picture the Tundra Wolves are a unit that actually got removed from the game from 3rd edition, so he's using them kind of like proxy those, which is totally fine with me. I don't mind as long as I know what they are. Hell Strikers with the Brew of Strength. Yeah, those guys are pretty nasty. Happy Friday, by the way. I'm enjoying this beer. My family's out. My kids in his crib. It's great. It's good times right now. And we have the Storm Slayer, which is a monster. Yeah, that's the guy. You'll see. You'll see. They got a war drum. Something that's really cool, and it's something to keep into account if you're getting into 4th edition, is that these little individuals all have unit strength, man. And that's an important thing to remember because we're so used to like little individuals. If you're coming from 3rd edition, 2nd edition, we're so used to little individuals not being able to pick up tokens, right? Not being able to score. It's a whole new world, man. It's a brave new world out there, and we love it. So here we go. I got these awesome mats on Facebook. I don't know the company, but because I'm talking about it now, you will get it on your Facebook ads, I promise. So these mats are great. They are the 40 mil center. So how these work is if you're touching that, you're within the 3 inches to claim that objective. Now, we place the objectives down for Salty Earth. You can salt it after turn 2, like you can remove it to prevent your opponent from getting the objective. Whoever has the most objectives at the end of the turn wins the game. Now, if you notice, I'm on the same table as I was on round 1. So we place these markers. There's one in the center. He placed his 3 there. I placed these 2 here, and there's one off to the left here. That we do that before table sides, and then he won the roll. And of course, this is a great setup for orcs, right? You got big bodies. Your hordes are big enough to capture 2 tokens at a time. Yeah, so this is a good setup for him. I was definitely going to take that side of the table if I won the die roll. And over here, here's my deployment. I do notice there's not a whole lot of pictures of this round. Reason being, you'll see as it goes on. I was also kind of like worried about time because I was a little pressed for time in the last round, so I was a little bit quicker with what I was doing. I was thinking more about the game, but also as you see how this game progresses, you'll understand. So I got my critters here. I'm gonna just use that 65 points to make sure that they lock this token down. Use other critters either come this way or these guys can kind of protect this flank. My objective is I definitely want to get that one just by those critters alone. Like if I kind of want him to forget about them, honestly. Like just forget they're there, leave them alone. Let me get that point, and then we'll deal with the rest. So that's part of my plan. I know I'm gonna have to fight for this middle one. I got my Palace Guard there. This is my mage on foot who has Barkskin and Blizzard. In the center, of course, my Palace Guard. I have my knights here. I kind of like the way they are here, right? Because if he comes up to this woods, like he has to come into woods, I have Jesse boots. I can attack, right? And then I should have some help if something comes in here. If he doesn't, like he's not going to be getting charges. I outrange him, so my threat range 18 inches. Obviously not behind here, but I have really good threat range. Real good threat range. I liked how I centered these guys up. I felt that they were in a great spot. There's not much that can threaten them. He doesn't really have any range damage, so I really enjoyed that placement there. My Palace Guard regiment, I feel like I'm going to try to anchor them on here along with the protection here. It's going to be tough for him. He's going to have to deal with a lot if he wants to take this one. But again, his focus, he already has 3. He just needs to fight for the middle, right? That's, kind of how I'm approaching it. My Glaze Stalkers, they probably scouted up to there. This is probably after scout move, if my guess. My Mage with the Alchemist Curse Lightning Bolt up on the hill. She'll be able to get some unimpeded lightning bolts off, and my Dracon Riders on the right side. Pretty solid. I'm okay with this deployment. I know I'm going to be fighting in the middle. He knows we're going to be fighting in the middle. I want to make sure that I'm solid on one flank, so that he can't really, he's going to have to fight for the middle. Yeah, that's pretty much the plan. All right, so let me double check here. We got the Hellstrikers in the back. We got the Storm Slayer there, who, for whatever reason, I thought was a Rift Forger almost the entire game. These guys that are hiding behind here, this is impassable terrain, height 9, I believe. So I can only see them a little bit, but those are the Tundra Wolves there. This is a horde of Riftforged Legionnaires. This is Stonar. You see me cheating. I'm like looking over here because I don't really know what anything is. Morax here, Morax there. Here a Morax, there a Morax, everywhere a Morax. There's another regiment of Morax, and then here is his other Riftforged Legionnaires. Which ones are which? I honestly don't know. I think this is the sharpness. I think that's the sharpness one. His War Drum back there, and then his Rift Forger, who I thought was the other guy. He's chilling there. Yeah. So solid line for him. Obviously, like he has these 2 units can be throwaways, but his real pressure are these guys, right? This is a weak flank. I'm weak on this side also. So, but he's so big that this corridor really is gonna kind of push them together. Now these are woods down there, so. He can use those woods, but like I have a lot of range on that side, if you noticed. So he's going to have to be careful about approaching those woods. So yeah, that's the way it sets up. That's his side. Does he get first turn? I can't remember. I don't remember if he got first turn or not. I think I got first turn. Yeah, that's something I probably should have known. So I move up like this on this turn, 57 minutes, 59. Yeah, this looks like I got first turn. So he has the bottom also, which is a benefit in a game like Salty Earth where you are trying to capture objectives. I'm just keeping a steady battle line. I take the advantage to hop into the woods to get really nice line of sight, threatening them like, hey, I got a big bad cav unit here that wants to hit you on Thunder 3. So, yeah, decide what you want to do. So that goes that way. That's just to look at that flank. Yeah, there should be some shooting. There it is. So my shooting, the guys I could see, I mean, there was some cover, obviously, for the Glade Stalkers. I end up doing one wound here. This was probably the Blizzard. The Blizzard couldn't see this way. But the Lightning Bolts and such do 4 wounds to Thunderwolves. Now, that's not going to be in it. They are nerfed 12. I might have wavered them. I'm not sure. They might have got wavered this turn. So going to his turn 1. He brings the Morax up like this, and this is kind of like giving him options, right? I think this was kind of a cool play. He can threaten this way, but he still has sight here if he needs to back up it. If he wants to go this way, maybe he's just going to give up this flank. But he's starting to project some threat range that I can't really get too comfortable with my Palace Guard. If I come up here, I got Morax coming at me. Now, the Palace Guard can take them, and I probably should have been a little bit more aggressive. Either just deciding like, hey, I want to take this flank also, because like, look, he has 4, and this is something that I wish I would have thought about earlier. Like, he doesn't have to do too much. Like, we're fighting for this, but yeah, like I really need that. So I need to put pressure. I actually need to put pressure on these two, right? Because this isn't enough. Just putting pressure on one isn't enough, in my opinion. And hindsight might be, 2020. So yeah, just kind of jostles around his lines. He knows he's kind of pinned in, but he has a lot of muscle. He doesn't mind. So yeah, I must not have wavered to Thunderwolves. They come out here, and this was interesting. This just gives me uncovered. I mean, I guess he's projecting threat, right? Like, he can come in here. I mean, nothing that the Thunderwolves are really going to do to any of what I have over here. So basically, like when I saw this, I was like, okay, well, that's a free Thunderwolf unit. My shooting's going to take it off next turn, and I'm probably going to be able to get some shooting on some other things also. Like get it close to its nerve value or over its nerve value, and go from there. So yeah. And Hellstrikers come here. Oh man, hold on, give me one sec. I don't know why this keeps going off. Let's okay, there we go. So that's a Storm Slayer right there. Yep, and that's his turn. Going to my turn 2. Just a overall, cool shot of, what's going on, man. Tournaments are fun. There's all types of things going on. We got dice and stuff going. So anyway, I think this is before my movement. Yep. So we're just kind of, I think actually I didn't do a whole lot. So if you can see here, this is probably after my movement. I didn't do a whole lot. If you see that there's more wounds on the Thunder Wolves. So this was after my turn 2. I'm just pulling up. You notice I backed these guys up a little bit because it was bluff. Like I'm not gonna go into either one of these hordes with my knights and be like super comfortable. It's just a little too early for that to kind of throw them away without having like a good counter punch that can see. Like these guys can't see. My Glade Stalkers aren't really gonna go in there and fight. So I ended up putting the critters into the woods here. Just kind of threatening them like, hey, if you want to come off and charge those guys, you're coming into the woods, and I have counter with my Palace Guard. So in this picture, he is figuring out his movement, and then the next picture will be his final movement. So he kind of stays up there on the hill. I end up, yeah, he's pushing the Morax in the center. I end up making a decision with these guys. You'll see pretty soon. And he commits here, right? So he's like, okay, I gotta push the Morax up, fight here, maybe clear, get in the fight with the Palace Guard, and then these guys are gonna come in and clean up everything else. I think that's a decent play. He's jostling some of his guys in the back ranks, and over here, yeah. So I had wavered these dudes. They're on 10, so I had wavered them on my turn 2. Um, so yeah, not much movement. I mean, we're kind of in a standoff, right? Because I have a lot of muscle on this side. I'm taking shots, so it's gonna force his hand at some point, and I think he's starting to realize that. That's why he's starting to push up more aggressive. Plus your orcs, you gotta go fight people, and that's what he's looking at. But he's trying to make it a little more comfortable for him than, just slamming ahead, because I do have threats this direction. And that's honestly what I'm looking for. Like I reposition these Dracon. If this flank sticks out, we're going at it. If these guys come in the woods, depending on where the 18 line is, like I'm projecting some threat here. And as this progresses on his side, I've been slowly nudging this stuff closer to the center, right? Like bringing it this way a little bit, backing these guys up. I have the range pressure to make it uncomfortable for him to, and I outrange his flyer. So trying to make it as uncomfortable as possible, but buy myself some time that I can soften up some of his lines. Going into my turn 3, clocks are looking pretty good. So I finally commit, right? The Palace Guard. Honestly, this move probably should have been a step earlier. Like these Morax are not going to kill Palace Guard. I gave them probably a little too much credit. Well, crush 1, 20 attacks on 3s, and they have wild charge, so they can outrange me in a way. I don't know. Hindsight, maybe I could have committed earlier, and that would have kind of forced his hand in the middle a little bit. I don't hate it. I get inspiring. I'm always tossing inspiring around pretty much. I don't really use dogs too often, but my inspiring command, just to get that I only have 2 inspiring sources, so I kind of need it spread out. Yeah, I mean, not much going on. I end up, these guys, Thunder Rules are dead at this point, and I think I put 4 wounds on the Hell Strikers in my shooting phase. Yeah, you can see I did a ton to them, and I'm almost positive I put 4 on these guys, but maybe I didn't. I don't know. We'll find out. His turn 3. Use a little clock. What did I use there? 9 minutes. Okay, so at some point, I must have charged these guys. I must have charged these guys with critters. Like I said, I didn't take a whole lot of pictures. So yeah, he's just going to go back in and probably mop up the critters. What he does do, and this kind of surprised me, but it was actually a pretty smart move. He just turned these boys around. He's like, okay, you're going to take the Palace Guard into those. You're going to get charged by Riftforged Legionnaires that are hitting on 2s. Yeah, that was unexpected. So that doesn't feel great, right? Like I did the measurements going into my turn. I was like, okay, these guys are going to be dead. And if I charge here and kill, which I should, because they are, they're nerf 15. I probably kill them. They don't have any inspiring. 32 attacks. Their defense, those Morax are only defense 4. So 3s and 3s with elite, 25 attacks. That probably gets it done. If I don't, it's disastrous. And then, okay, so I face a Morax unit that's hitting on 2s with crush 1 on 25 attacks. Like I don't know if the Palace Guard survive it. Like it doesn't feel comfortable. And then even when I swing back, it's probably not enough to kill them. And then these guys are hanging out with maybe 14 wounds. Their defense 5, right? Yeah, maybe 12 wounds. And then I lost my Palace Guard horde. So the prospects didn't feel great over there. Although the Morax did have 3 wounds, so I was definitely going to clear them if I charged. But I'm also hindered. Yeah, so this was a great. I actually really, really liked what he did here. He's just like, screw it, I'll just turn these guys around. I thought that was brilliant. Because I'm not like threatening him, right? Like he's still 12 inches away. He has wild charge on these 2 guys, so he's comfortable in here. And he has 4 tokens. Right now, he has 4 tokens and nothing I can do about it. So I have to go to him, and I'm realizing I'm realizing that right about now. So that's how it goes. On this flank, this is his movement still. He tucks these guys in. He knows he's starting to take wounds here. So he kind of tucks them back, try to get some cover. And yeah, that's his it's pretty much his turn 3. Just another shot of the action. And going into my turn 4, we got about 37 minutes left. We're feeling pretty good on time right at this moment. So now I'm like, all right, I got to draw him out into the fight. Now this is after combat, but I'm like, I need to draw him out. There's no way I'm going to get these tokens and hold this center with the mass that he has. I need to start chipping away. So what I do is I offer the Glade Stalkers as bait, right? Like these guys can come up. I'm getting shots. I've been shooting at the Hell Strikers to try to eliminate them. I've been throwing lightning bolts at them. My Blizzard has been kind of messing around with the Morax. As you can see, I think they have actually 6 wounds on them. I think Blizzard gets these guys up to 10 wounds at one point. Once I can eliminate the Hell Strikers or at least make them super uncomfortable, I feel like then I can kind of collapse on this all. But this guy is still hanging out here, and I didn't really do much to him. And he's nerf 16, that Stormslayer, and he's a really pissed off little boy. And he inspires himself. He has regen. He has Slayer D6. He's pretty good. And I kept thinking that he was only nerf 12 because I was like, okay, after the Hell Strikers, I will, put a little effort into that guy because he's only. I thought he was only nerf 12. So that was a mistake. So yeah, what I decided to do, I Jesse boots into his Morax on the left because I have a bunch of wounds on the one on the right. So I figure I'll pop them. These guys are gonna get kind of sacrificed because he has a lot of counterplay, but these guys are facing this direction. Yeah, that's an important distinction. Those guys are. I figure this might be the opportune time to go in here and at least clear out one of the Morax, and I'm already putting a lot of pressure on this one, ready with the Blizzard, with some lucky Blizzard strikes. So after combat, I do reform like this, put these guys into the front. So if they charge in, they're going to have to. I couldn't get them to the point where this would be a hindered charge, unfortunately. The way this wall was, I was over the wall. So it's going to be a clean charge for him. I think he can, he can just get in there. But yeah, the Cav the Cav on Thunder 3 definitely puts work in. So his turn 4. So now he's like, okay, well, if you're not, this. I love the way Nick played this game. I really feel like he played very, very well, very well. He said, you know what? If you are not going to come in this direction, I'm going to go around and threaten your critters that are sitting on an objective point. He doesn't really need to. He doesn't really need these guys to do anything but that. He doesn't want to take them into Palace Guard, obviously, and threaten this, but this is such a good move because now it diverts the attention of the Palace Guard. Like, what do the Palace Guard do? Do they say, okay, well, now we got to fight, and now this is turn 4, by the way. Do we got to fight over this? Like, it's going to take another turn to get here. I don't. Yeah, it was a great play. So I'm like, okay, well, I can't lose this token too. I could always shift this mage over to grab this one so that I'm at least locking down to. But yeah, these guys going off the hill and trying to sneak around the woods. Yeah, it's a great play, awesome play. I love it. His Morax go into here, and I don't know if they kill. I don't know if they kill my knights on one go. I do have inspiring on them. And I'm nerf 16. They have 20 attacks on 3s, crush 1. So yeah, I don't know how that goes. So his Hell Strikers with a bunch of wounds. They only have 4 wounds on them. With wounds on them, he said, let's start pushing forward. I can protect the flank of this horde. Now this horde can get up into the woods and see. The Hell Strikers should kill Glade Stalkers and then pivot and make and take the charges that he's going to take. But at least that he's starting to push the center and threaten. He still has 1, 2, 3, 4 unit strength that can 3 different units that can take objectives in the back. Just comes up to support. So now, my put my Gladestalkers out. That was kind of like my my trap in a way, but it's not much of a trap if he knows exactly exactly how it's going to go down. Actually, they have more. They have 8 wounds. That's what it was. His hands was really forced here. Any more shooting, and he's probably in a really dire situation with those Hellstrikers. He moves this guy, the Stormslayer, out of line of sight, out of arc of my my Dracon Rider. Good play. That was just a poor positioning on my part. Also, I was thinking he was the Rift Forger, and I wasn't too worried about him. I should have been worried about that guy. Trust me. And that's how that looks. Moves these guys up. Yeah, he snuffs my. Oh, that's right. This guy came in too. Who's this guy? That's the Rift Forger. Yeah. He had an extra 4 attacks on Eric Crush 2 with Blade of Slashing. That was enough. He needed the extra attacks to kill the Knight unit. Yeah, I was hoping that they would last a turn. Here's the thing, though. Like, the Knights swinging back, they don't have any crushing. So they're not really going to do much. They need to be, like, on the charge and unhindered to really be effective. I got what I wanted. I got one Morax unit. And this Morax unit is pretty damaged. But yeah, I would have liked them to hold up for a turn. That would have been decent. So my 5, and this is after combat. So a lot happened here. Let's see if we can kind of piecemeal it together by going back a couple slides. All right. So this Hellstriker unit is actually tucked inside of this Gladestalker unit. Now, what I assumed he was going to do once he popped them, I figured he was going to just reface something like this, right? And take whatever charges. He decides mistakenly to just go ahead D6. He rolls the D6. He moves his guys. I'm not thinking about it. I'm looking at other parts of the table. Go to my turn. And he looks at me and he's like, I didn't want to do that. I was like, do what? And he's like, go ahead with the Hellstrikers. I was like, yeah, you didn't want to do that. Like, because it opens this flank here, and this is the first moment where I had an opening and I just had to jump on it. So what I do is these guys actually like went 6, and these guys were in the flank. So the Palace Guard flanked the Hellstrikers. My Dracon go into the flank here just to make sure that I get him. I put my Palace Guard into the front. And that's going to be a dead Legionary unit. As you can see here, after reforms, he lost his Hellstrikers because of that overrun, and he lost his Legionnaire. Like, he was pretty demoralized when this happened, because he even like kind of talked out in his head, like, because we were like, okay, the Hellstrikers are protective flank. There's no way I can get in there. We had talked that all out. He rolled the D6, pushed him ahead, measured him. I'm starting my turn, and that's when we both realized, like, oh, yeah, you didn't want to do that. So I positioned like this. Now I'm starting to think about this guy, this Stormslayer. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just take some Alchemist Curse. I'll take a couple shots at him. I'll get him wavered, like, no problem, because I think he's only, nerve 12. I'm still messing up. And on top of it, he's fearless, nerve 16. So there's nothing I'm going to be able to do with it. Like, I can't do enough wounds to prevent that guy from coming like this way or coming back into this fight. Like, I totally screwed up there. It's so bad. Oh shit. But these Morax have 10 wounds on them, like, things aren't that bad. Like, this looks solid, right? Like, this looks like I can pull out a win. So we'll see how it goes. One other thing that happened, I think my Palace Guard ended up going into the woods to make sure that they could see that Morax unit. So his 5, his 6. This is my 6 after his 5. So his 5, he goes in here, doesn't kill, only does 1 wound to them, and he has started to move this guy around. He regened a bunch of wounds off him. I think I had him up to 6, but he's back down to 3. Uh, on his turn, he killed the Gladestalker unit that was here. He charged with this guy, killed the Gladestalker unit. So now this guy's in my backfield and super annoying. Super annoying because I still have to protect. I still have to protect a marker down here. Like he's threatening to take 5 at this point. So yeah, this is my 6. Face the mage to take more shots. I get him up to 11 wounds, but he's still fearless. So in protecting that, I have to protect this this token. And another mistake, because I was looking at the wrong thing. I didn't even realize it till now, or not till now, but until this part of the game, that this guy's actually Unistring too, and so are these guys. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So I decided to move this mage to make sure I get this token because my Palace Guard are off chasing some Morax, who they eventually end up killing. And now I'm facing this way, but they are out of the fight, and all they could do is maybe grab that token, that objective. I shouldn't say token because that's not what they are. So yeah, now this is his turn 6. He's deciding. He's saying, okay, do I take these guys in, smash this unit? If I get stuck on this unit, I have 5 wounds, they're going to be hindered. Then, I have flank play here. The Dracon are going to be stuck on this guy, so they're going to be safe from that. But this guy still has a flank. Does Palace Guard kill them off? And then, this guy can sidestep and hop on this unit. It's like he needs to start thinking about, like, where are these tokens, right? I think even as we were talking about this, I was like, I don't know, man. That's a little risky because like you can just lock down too with your horde, and that's exactly what he does. This guy regens a bunch, yeah. So in his turn 6, he says, you know what? If you want to charge, you can charge. Right now, this is contested. Yeah, this is contested right now because we both have the same unit strength. So I would have to remove him on a turn 7 to get it. So he spreads out. He puts his war drum here, and he's God Speaker also. So that's contested also, right? Because I'm just looking at his God Speaker 1. Yeah, so my guy's 2. He has 2 unit strength there. Okay, so that one's contested. This one's contested. He has this one for 1, 2, right? And then, let's see. Yeah, we roll a 1 for turn 6. So let me go back here real quick. See if I can get an overview of the things. Okay, I got 1 here. I got 2 there, right? I got unit strength 2 there. Oh, man, I think we tied. Wait. Oh, no. Hold on. I got to look at my list. Give me 1 second. I can't remember if my guy's 2 or 1. If my guy's 2, let's see. Where's my name here? Give me 1 second. I know this is going to be weird on the video, but I just got to look at my list because I didn't have it up. Oh, shit. My guy's 2. I think we tied. But I gave him the win. All right, let me double check this. Okay, so I got 1 point there, 2 points there. He ends up moving his Hellstriker. This is contested. He has this one for 1. He has that one for 2. This one's contested. And this one's contested. Oh, my God. Oh, no. We drew. We drew, but I gave him the win. I forgot that guy was unit. I'm just learning this right now, ladies and gentlemen. I forgot my Dracon Rider was unit strength 2. Yeah, that's right. He is. So here's what he did. So this guy was unit strength 2, and my regiment was 2. So this one's contested. But I'm literally realizing right this moment. So unless there's War Drum. Now, hold on. I could be completely wrong. I could be messing this up completely. But let me pull up his list one more time. War Drum is... there it is. We solved it, ladies and gentlemen. I did not mess up. His war drum is unit strength 2. So this guy's 1. So he has 3 there. Oh my god. I should just cut that out of the video, but who gives a shit? It's Friday. I'm having a good mood. And it was a wonderful game. It was the first time I ever played Nick. He played it so well and so smart for, you know, just, yeah, there's so many great things that he did that I really appreciate, especially for an Orc player, because Orcs had a rough go of it. I feel like in third edition, they wanted to be a very killy, fighty type army, and it just didn't kind of play out that way with how much Alpha Strike and things were. So he ended up winning 2-3. I can't believe I thought that we drew that. I ended up killing 1150, and he killed 865. So it's not always about how much you kill. You just have to play smart objectives. So I am 0-2 going into round 3 at this GT, but I am having an absolute blast. I played 2 guys I haven't played before, and it just gave me absolute. Well, I did play Corey before, but in Kings of War I haven't played him. Just absolute great games, and it was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching these videos and all the love you guys are giving me in likes and everything. It's great. It just makes me want to keep making them, and I got 2 more to go. I don't. I'll just give you this. I don't go 0-4, but it wasn't my best showing. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.